أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Taleem 360 Degree presents this video to have an idea that being Muslims we are bound to fast for long term. A Muslim is a whole time fast keeper. May Allah help us to obey him during the whole lifespan. What is fasting? Fasting is restraining ourselves from two types of deeds. Number 1, eating, drinking and some other lawful deeds that are enlisted in Quran and hadiths of Muhammad, peace be upon him. Number 2, unlawful deeds prescribed in Quran and hadith. This means that there are two types of restrictions in fasting. Number 1 are lawful during the non-fasting period but are not allowed during fasting period. There are two types of fasting. Number 1, short-term fasting during Ramazan. Number 2, long-term fasting during non-fasting period. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has said, all previous sins of a Muslim are washed away if he or she fasts with faith and sense of accountability. So we are fortunate for having another fasting month in our life. May Allah wash away all of our previous sins. May Allah bless us and the whole humanity. There are two types of fasting. Number 1 is short-term fasting and number 2 is long-term fasting. Short-term fasting is fasting during the month of Ramazan. In this type of fasting, eating, drinking, and some other lawful deeds are banned. One cannot eat, drink, and do some deeds which are lawful and allowable in non-fasting period enlisted in Quran and hadith. Unlawful acts such as telling lie, cheating, taking wine, indulging in usury, hoarding, black marketing, backbiting and deceiving etc. Deceiving, quarreling, lobbying, cutting the relations and disobeying parents are strongly forbidden in this short-term fasting. Allah forbade and stopped us to do lawful actions during fasting. Short-term fasting is training of stopping ourselves to do lawful deeds and actions along with unlawful deeds and actions. It is training of remaining away from unlawful deeds and actions during the whole lifetime or long-term fasting. Long-term fasting starts with the start of adulthood. Long-term fasting ends at the time of last breath of life. The short-term fasting aims to prepare us for a long-term fasting. Short-term fasting is key to success in long-term fasting. The Muslims keep themselves away from unlawful deeds and actions in short-term fasting. It helps to prepare them for long-term fasting. The span of long-term fasting spreads over the whole life period. The long-term fasting starts with adulthood and ends at the last breath of life.